Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley with Educating with Wisdom, the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. And I also have to add for Teshub as well. And I think St. Paul. So let's move on. I'm going to be once again, hopefully the last time I have to do this before I actually begin submitting it. We're going in to take a look to see if Teshub is still up on the Paleo Lexicon, so that moving forward, the people that I submit to will see that I'm not coming up with this. And this is, of course, the deal. The Teshuva, what the Jewish said was the Teshuva. That deal was accepted. But also, who should you be calling the Father? Because he is the Atai. So let's come in here. This is what Paleo Lexicon looks like. You'll just type that in. You can get that. There are different types of Paleo Lexicon. Some of them are Hebrew, some of them are in other languages, but this comes from my site because I use it quite a bit. It's one of the simpler versions, and it's nice to do comparisons. So here's Paleo Lexicon. Let's go into languages and let's see where Teshub keeps showing up. Of course, he is the weather god. He is God the Father. He would be referring to Jupiter, but we don't want to think of Jupiter as the way the Greeks do it. We want to think of Jupiter in terms of he has a partnership with his wife Hava, which is with Isis or Isha, the most venerated goddess of ancient times. So we're just going to open up each one of these. I'll just pick 5. And I like this one. And Hurrian is going to be one of them. Thracian will be another one. If I open it up, it should open up to the first alphabet, and it does. This is their first alphabet. And that's where it opens up, and you can see that's it. Now I'm going to close it on, just to see what happens if I close it. I'll just close it. It'll either be a V or a W that I close on going forward. So here's the V. All right. Now I'm going to close out of this, go up to languages, close out of it. And let's do Etruscan. Etruscan. Notice it opens on the A, and it's the first A. I can go over here, but I don't want to be there. I want to be here. So here is the A for the Etruscans. Oh, here's Asar. This is where you're going to find the Norse Asar gods. That's so cool. It really is. We don't teach any of this kind of comparative linguistics. So here's Asar. This is Etruscan. Again, I said we would go to V. Here's a V. They have one. Notice it looks like an F. They don't have a W, but they do have a V. Oh, and they have an F. Whoops, here's an F, which is great because that's actually the F they could have used. This is not the only group. The Etruscans are not the only group of people. I think the Lydians also have that F, which is an interesting statement. So we go back to a U because we were going to have a U or a V. Where was our V? Right here. Here's a V. There. Here's a V. We're going to leave the V. So now we've gone through, and we're going to leave that. We left on a V. So at this point, we've done this, and we've done Etruscan. I want to do Hattic. Here we go, Hattic. Ah is it or self. As, I love it. I love it. Notice it's the first letter of that alphabet. I love if you could continue going down. They have Ashti for bird. Here's Alap for language or tongue. And of course, that makes so much more sense than what the Jewish people use it as. And that is as the bull or the power. It means tongue. To speak, actually, it means to speak, speech. and Ana means woman. Okay, there's the first one. I said we would end on a W or V. Of course, we could go to U, but we're going to go to W. Keep it simple because it's double V. It's on the first one. Look at, there's wine. That's so cool. Now, I do not understand why they are using that name, because Taru should be the weather god. In fact, let's just go and take a peek and see what they have here. Taha Barbara Insight, name of deity, Tasman, Tas. Tinkin Ta. We're going to go back to the other in a minute. Taurus, horse, storm god. Toru. There we go. Toru. There's the storm god. So I don't know where the other W comes from, because that's the one that we're always aware of. Yeah. All right, let's come back to W. Must be a colloquial name. Weather god. All right. Language. Back to language. Now let's go into Hurrian. Notice everything is opening up on the first letter of their alphabet. So now we go into Hurrian, because this is where we're going to find Teshub. Notice it does not open up on an A. It goes right to Teshub. Could be Teshub, Tishba. There are a few different ways that they say it, but it's Teshub. We're going to go and take a look at the A here. Ashti, this is where, here's Ashto, Ashti, wife. Actually, it's related to, because it can also be Asheti, it's related to Isis. It's related to Isha. In fact, the original Isis, I guess, in Egyptian is Asheta. Ashetet. So here we have Ashti and Ashetet, and its wife, and Asheti, its woman. Let's come back, and we said we would end it on a, there's no V, so we go to a W. Wari, arrow, sword. Okay, let's come out. And then I'm just going through those 5. This is this one. Well, we'll do it. Oh, I wanted to do Thracian. Maybe we want to see Lydian. Just take a peek and we'll see Lydian for just a moment and see if there's an F. Yep, there's that 8 for an F again. It looks like an 8. Right. Let's come back out of here. Went right to the A, by the way. Did not mean. Here's Lydian. Oh, and here's Proto-Semitic. Let's just take a peek. You will see, well, where's all those? They don't have any, do they? Yes. It gets more interesting. But it starts with the first one. Let me come back to Thracian. This is where we get Hebrews from, Abros. But here's Arma, swamp, Hebrew. Just, we digress. Abros is where we get Hebrews from. Abros, they were part of, I believe, the Sea People configuration that came down. The Hebrews, the he-goats, billy goats. The Greeks have something very similar going on between the Abros River area and their word for Hebrews. It's essentially the same, from the same stem. All right, I said I would do the V. Here is the V. Now let's come out of this, and I'm just going to go through the beginning of each of the languages, and you will see that it comes back to Teshub right away, or at least that's what it's been doing since mid-May. Your storm god. All of your storms, you are to know that with my case, This is the God you need to be referring to. And it's the one that the Hebrews took over. Elijah was a follower of Teshub. He's the only one that goes up to heaven and in the Old Testament. Let's take a look. So first it was Cappadocian. And you can see it goes right to the first one. It did not go to the V. So it went right to the first one. Let's go to this language. The Etruscan. It went right to the A. It did not go to the V. Did not go to the V. It goes right to the A. And it's on the first one. Let's go back. Languages. Hetic. It went right to the A, to the first A. It did not go to the W. It went right to the A. Back to languages. The next one was Hurrian. It goes right to Teshub. It does not go to the A. Hello, Teshub. Right. Only the government or God. Those are the only two who will do this. They accept the Teshuva. Let's go back to languages. And the next one was, well, we can just see this if you want. It still goes back to the dash in the beginning, to the A. And now let's go to the Thracian language. Here we go. And it goes right back to the A. Alrighty then. Thanks so much. Have a great day. As you can see, it stops on Teshub or the Teshuvah. It will be Hurrian. That is why it says in Isaiah, and it also refers to it in Micah, that Jerusalem will be named Hippah, and then it's Saba or Seba. But Hippah is for the goddess. There was no F for the PH. It was up sounded. There was no F that crept in until about until about 400 AD. So it was Hippah. Thank you and have a great day. God bless. Let's come out of here. Here we go. We're right here.